This is The Real Chat, where we discuss the real.
From relationships to love.
To all around companionship.
I'm LL.
And I am Sunny.
Let's get to chatting.
Yeah, a baddie to me is somebody that's an 8 or above. Maybe a 7.9, I don't know. But I say 8 and above, somebody that's beautiful, intelligent, they carry themselves well, they have a nice body type, preferably, they stay in the gym, they work out.
Right.
In my opinion. Like, I don't think you can really be a baddie too much if you don't take care of your health. I don't think you can be a baddie if you're not worried about your health and well-being.
So a baddie is overall. It's looks,
Mm-hmm.
it's internal health,
Mm-hmm.
it's I guess emotional health.
Mm-hmm.
And then someone that believes in themselves, has confidence in themselves.
Exactly. Confidence is key.
Confidence is key.
Confidence is key.
Because I've come to really realize,
Mm-hmm.
and just not in myself, but in others, when somebody carries that confidence, when they know, I'm not gonna say they know they all the shit and they got it going on,
Mm-hmm.
but when they're confident in themselves, when they know they have something to offer, but they also approach they put themselves out in the world in that way.
Mm-hmm.
People notice as soon as you walk in the door. People can see an aura come from you, a vibe come from you.
Energy.
You're when you walk in the door, an energy.
Mm-hmm.
You walk in the door,
Mm-hmm.
with that confidence. It exudes from you.
Yes.
You're directly ready to deal with people, to be personal with people, to be comfortable with people. You're not off in the corner. You walk into the room, you immediately are able to gravitate to people,
Yes.
to greet people,
The
they
eyes.
greet you.
A baddie,
Exactly.
the head's gonna turn.
the eye contact, and like you said, the head's gonna turn.
Mm-hmm.
So but taking that back to a baddie, let's say is that more of a new term also?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that's cool. See, I'm learning from youngsters. See?
Yes.
So that's another thing that this is all about, to learn, to gain that knowledge. Say, and the terms change over the years. There was hottie, she's bad, she's tough, she's smoking,
Yes. All the same.
all the same, they mean all the same thing. So as a hottie and as a male, and I've used the term plenty also. So, but being a man, and women out here, they're just beautiful women everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So, I might be with my guy friends or whatever, and we see somebody who's, whoosh, she's smoking, or she's a hottie, or she, and again, but also that confidence. And now today, another thing that women have to do, and I tell my daughter about this and my nieces, my wife already pretty much knows because she kind of taught me and helps to teach them.
Right.
I say, okay, you got that confidence, and as you walk down the street, you walk through the door, you walk into a store, you walk wherever, guys are going to see that, and guys are going to, those who are confident enough, because not all guys are confident enough to approach a beautiful
And there's a difference between confident and cocky, y'all. I just want y'all to know that.
True.
It's a difference.
And we'll go. So give me your thought on confident and cocky.
So confident is just you exude, you love yourself. It's hard. It's a little bit harder for people to break you down. You just know, your self-worth. Cocky is when you walk into a room and you just, on everybody. Yeah.
Right.
Everybody, you think you are the it all and be all, and you're better than everybody.
Yeah.
You can be confident and know that girl can be confident as well, and that girl is just as great as you, know. But as far as cockiness, it's just like your head is up high, you're not trying to hear nothing. You are that girl, and that's it. Nobody else exists.
Yeah.
That's the cockiness to me. It comes across a little bit rude.
Right. Exactly. Cocky, like you said, cocky and confidence. Two different things. Cocky also can get into arrogance.
Yes, arrogance, same thing, yep.
And people, again, just like you have that energy, you have that confidence that people notice immediately, they also notice cocky and arrogant.
Yeah, confidence comes with humbleness.
Humbleness.
It comes
Humility.
together as a package deal. When it's a confidence and it's like at a high rate with no humbleness at all, then that becomes cocky and arrogant.
Right. And like I said, people actually feel that immediately, because when you're cocky, when you're beyond that confidence, when you think you the it, and you walk into a room, you carry an air, because you also are not that personable. You kind of picking and choosing what group you might fit in,
right.
you know? So you're a little standoffish.
Mm-hmm.
People feel that standoffishness, they
right.
feel that cocky, they feel that arrogance, they feel that, oh, she or he too good for us, or he think, he better. Even though we don't
right.
know, people don't know, but you're starting to assume this, where if you can't come up and say, hey, how you doing? I'm so-and-so, shake a hand, nice meeting you, blah, blah, blah. If you can't do that immediately as you walk into the room, because you shouldn't be expecting that all of a sudden people are going to run to you. You might think you're a star, but don't nobody else know you.
Yes.
Yes. So, again, taking all that back to a hottie, I think for me, a hottie covers, it's vast, because not only is she beautiful, but the way she carries herself, okay, that confidence, but also you look at how, say, a man looking at a female, how she takes care of herself, how her hair is, how her fitness is, how her swag, how she carries herself. And that, for guys, that's a big deal.
Yes.
When they see a woman that walks in and she got that swag and
that confidence. Confidence is everything for men, y'all.
Exactly.
So if you're not that confident, I wouldn't even try to date. I need you to build yourself up and love yourself a little bit more before you even step into a relationship, because guys love confidence. True. Like Lizzo, she'll never be manless, because she has the most confidence in the world. She loves herself. And when guys, they don't, with certain guys, they don't even care what you look like. If you carry yourself like you're that girl, then they're going to think you're that girl too. It's all about what you feel about yourself.
Well, like you said, Lizzo, like you said, super confident, and she exudes that.
Yes.
But like you said, she will never be manless, because you know what? She makes it clear that she doesn't need a man.
Yes.
She wants
on top of it. Yes.
Right. So you have to be confident enough to know that, this woman doesn't need you. If you're successful, if you make an impression, then that woman is interested in spending more time possibly. But that's because she enjoys not just your company, but the person you are, the energy you give, the vibe you give off, the confidence you have. Okay? So, like you said, Lizzo and many other women like her, like you, my wife, many other women, when they have that confidence and they have that thing to say and lets other men know, I don't need you. If you get to spend time with me, then that is a privilege. Yes. Because I have something more to offer. I'm not just going to be your one night stand. I'm not just going to be your side chick. I'm not just going to be something that you use and discard. I have value. You don't understand and treat me with the value that I have. Yes, and like in my relationship, girls, we have like those body dysmorphia times where we're like, oh, like we might think we're bad yesterday, and then wake up like, oh, like I don't really like how this look, I don't really like how that look. And with my boyfriend, if I do that in front of him, he's not having it. He's not having it. He's like, don't you talk about my woman like that. Or saying
I
that
don't want to hear
right?
it. Yes,
yeah.
I do not want to hear it. I do not want to hear it. No.
So he constantly.
He likes the confidence. He does not. He does not like when I talk down on myself.
So he constantly
that will make him
endorses.
Angry. Yes,
the confidence.
That's a way to get him. He don't get angry a lot, but that'll get him angry. Me talking down on myself.
Okay. And well, that says a lot. I'm glad to hear that, because I do the same thing with my wife. Because again, she does the same thing with me. And really, my wife doesn't allow you to be down on yourself.
Yes, and he's like, am I not doing a good job? And then he does stuff like that. And I'm like, he's saying, am I not doing a good job? You should feel like the best thing out here, the best thing walking, because I make sure, I pour into you and stuff like that. You're beautiful.
Well, with
no
ladies,
reason for you to talk about yourself.
And ladies, listen to Sunny, because what she's saying is really what all women should be desiring or wanting from their male partner or partner, period. Because you're two people together, and I say this all the time, a relationship is not about the one. A relationship is two people, right? So it's not about the one, it's about the two coming together, becoming one, but the thing of both excelling, both becoming better, both growing, both developing beyond where they were. And that means the other has to be there to not so much build them up, but to also keep that confidence up. Yes. Constantly to be like,
build and hold that space.
Right.
Build and hold it.
Right. And they're there, and that's what your partner, your mate is. That's part of their responsibility. If you think you're getting into a relationship where you don't have to invest you into your partner,
Yes.
it's probably not going to work because they're going to feel that. They're going to be like, wait a minute, I support you in everything. I'm there for you. When you're down, I'm there. We're talking.
Yes.
I'm trying to build you up. I'm trying to pull you out that hole. But when I'm going through stuff, you don't do that. It's just like, okay, well, hope you feel better.
Right.
That doesn't work.
No.
So, it's all about, having that person that continues to build your confidence, to build
Uplift you. Yes.
but at the same time, it's building the relationship.
Yes. And sometimes with like things like that with relationships, when that person, because obviously in a beginning relationship, most of the time both they pour into each other. They pour into each other, and then once it started like this is starting to become the wind is blowing and the fountain is like some of the water is splashing out of that fountain. That means that one side something is changing and something needs to be discussed. Like, hey, I know that you don't empower me the way you used to. Is that like what? Why is that? Asking those questions, the uncomfortableness, sitting in the uncomfortableness, and being okay with discussing things with your partner is everything, especially in relationships nowadays. Any days talking, even back in the day, yes, those relationships might have lasted a really long time, but you don't know what they were putting up with. So those discussions are very, very important. Ask like, hey, why you do that? You never know. They might say, oh, well, you've been complaining about the same thing for 9 months now, and I haven't seen you do anything to change why you're complaining. So yes, I'm not giving you that, oh baby, you can do it, because I'm quite tired. I need to see some action, and then maybe I'll start building you up once I see that action. But if you standing stagnant for a little bit and I don't see that effort being put, like as long as I see the effort, but you just have to ask questions like that, like, hey, what is it? Why is it like this?
Well, and I agree. But like you said, and somebody continues to talk a good game.
Yes.
But they're not doing anything to move forward. Again, that's an issue for the relationship, because you can talk about it. You can be down about it. You can be upset about it. But if you do nothing about it, and hopefully in that relationship, you've got that partner who the whole time has been like, do it. Move forward. Just go. We don't know what's going to happen, but I'm with you. As long as you're working hard and figuring it out by doing it, I'm with you. And really, I can take that right back to, and I'll share something personal with you all. Sunny, and in me going to Sunny to do this podcast, to bring these subjects to you all, I went to Sunny because I've known her all her life. But she had that, Sunny has that thing, that energy, right? That gift of conversation. So those are big perks, but she's a great individual. But when I went to her and I laid this out, of course, I told her, hey, I really want you to do this with me, but I know you need time to think about it. So I'm not asking you to immediately respond. I said, but please think about it. Let's, if we need to conversate some more, let's do that. But one of the things she did, she went back to her guy, her partner, her mate, and she laid it out. Told him what I asked her or asked of her. And what was the first thing he said to you, son?
He was like, supportive. He was like, go for it. What are you afraid of? That was the first thing. What are you afraid of? That was his first response.
and she shared that with me. And again, I know her guy. So, to hear that his first thing was not about, well, you already got this going on, or what is it really about? Or can you trust Langston? Or, because again, knowing her all her life, she knows me, okay? And he knows me now through her. But also, I guess, knowing a little bit of who I am, my background, all that kind of stuff. I guess that was another positive. I'm sure if she came to him and some knucklehead had asked her to do this, he'd be like, oh, hell no. Because I know he ain't about nothing. Maybe this is a ploy to try and get at you, okay? But it's completely different here. But like I said, she went to her guy and she laid it out, and he was like, so while we talking about it, you need to be moving. You need to make this happen. And another big thing is she had so much to bring to this. I really didn't want to do this without her, because this energy that this young lady brings, this information, this knowledge, even as a young woman, she has it. And so in order for this thing to continue to move forward, for this thing to grow, for us to bring this to you, and for us to grab you and hopefully get you to join on and jump on the train, I need her to make this happen. The two of us are our real chat.
Yes, we are the real chat.
So, so from that, and we go back to the hottie, we go back to,
Yes.
where this conversation started, which, these conversations, we're hoping that we're connecting with you.
Yes.
But also what we're asking of you is to share with us.
Yes. What do you think about love
What do you
bombing?
think?
Yeah. What do you think about love bombing? How y'all feel about it?
This is an open conversation. This isn't just us. Yeah, we're sharing what we think.
Yes.
Yes.
But
But
these are opinions at the end of the day.
Right. Opinions.
Opinions.
There's no doctors before our
Yes,
names.
there's no books backing it or anything like that. This is how we feel, and we want to know how you guys feel so we can continue this and keep that conversation going.
Right. We're sharing what we learn through living.
Yes.
Okay? And yes, do we have some opinions? Yes, we do. And everybody does.
Yes.
But we decided, hey, we want to sit down and we want to talk to you. So we want you to talk to us. So, hey, YouTube and Facebook, they all have places for comments. And that's what we really want from you. We started a conversation, but we want you all to continue it. So, like I said today, this is The Real Chat.
The Real Chat.
And we're going to keep bringing this to you. And we hope that you're just going to respond.
Yes.
And
Keep joining us.
Keep joining us. Help us grow.
Yes.
Help us to get
Any
better.
questions y'all want us to talk about, please leave that comment below. That'll be great.
And because your comments make topics.
Yes.
So again, you have a great day. We love that you're joining us. Share this information with your people. And
follow
us.
us.
Follow us.
Peace.
All right.